All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to part two of this because I made this last night, but I was saying some stuff on there that I probably shouldn't have been saying too loud on my last one. So we're just gonna redo this video. It's not gonna be that long. Basically, developing my new roadmap. Okay, so I talked about like a lot of my journey on here and how I don't really have much to talk about right now besides just ranting and a lot of this stuff has already been documented. What you should do, how you should approach it, how you should approach an abuser, a manipulator. Like I can keep making the videos. 15 things you should know, 10 things you should worry about, and I can continue to do that. But this is just my newsletter, okay? And it's almost that time where basically I take it down and start readjusting, okay? And readjusting because I don't want to um, get jammed up. I don't want to get jammed up later on down the line. Even if somebody recorded it, whatever, like, it don't really matter. That doesn't matter to me. It's more like, because I don't really plan on being public facing and stuff like that anyway, but it's more like I just don't want clients to see it, potential clients. They come to the door and they're like, hey, you said that, you almost went bankrupt like a bunch of times. It's like, yeah, like, so the fuck you care for it, right? But, stuff matters when they're trying to buy, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, I was like trying to figure out this and figure out that. And, people don't really want to hear that sometimes. They just want to know that you're going to do the job, right? It depending on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's almost going bankrupt, Like, really think about this. Some people are check to check every day. You check to check. Like, what the fuck? You got no savings? Like, nah. We're all one step away from getting rid of all our debt, liquidating, right? Just to get rid of it. Okay. So let's talk about this. All right. Let's talk about the new plan. All right. And we can still use the software until September 5th, which is one day away from my birthday, September 6th. And I will officially be 38 years old. And, this stuff is just funny because, well, first thing is this, I'm not really like using my phone anymore. And since I'm not using my phone anymore, right, I'll just do it over there. Since I'm not really using it anymore, it's trying to like get me back on the phone. So they're trying to like give me updates on what's going on. And I genuinely don't care anymore because I know what I need to know. And now I'm done with my phone. I know that sounds weird, but I'm probably not going to be using it anymore because I don't have anybody to text. Anybody I text is normally through business or Facebook anyway, or one of these chat platforms anyway. Like everybody that knows me is on Facebook for the most part, or on WhatsApp. So I'm not really like chatting with people. I don't really text like that. Hold on. What's up? I'm live. What's up? What's up? Just say it. What's up? What is it? Oh, thanks. No, I was cleaning up. Okay. So, speaking of cleaning up, basically, like I said, I'm not really using my phone anymore. And since I'm not using my phone anymore, I'm not really going to be looking for updates there. I'm just going to go into regular Facebook on the computer to see what people are talking about. And I'm going to write down particular things on what I need to see per my day in order to stay ahead of my business and everything else. Okay. Now, last night I talked a lot about a lot of different things. I talked a little bit about race, a little bit about structure, a little bit about a lot of different things. And you have to be aware that, just because something is a part of a culture doesn't mean you have to attach yourself to it. I grew up and I thought black culture was ghetto and a bunch of other stuff because I didn't really know any better. I didn't know that there were people deliberately influencing black culture to make it gay and ghetto and all kinds of other stuff, which I kind of talked about already on the channel last night. But maybe I'll release a video. What I said really wasn't that bad, besides preferring to work with certain people because it's easier for me because I understand the culture. It's hard to work for me to work with other people who I don't understand the culture. It's difficult. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's pretty much all I said. But I don't really want that to. I don't want a person to come into my store and be like, I'm a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want them to feel that way. I just want them to just feel comfortable. So that matters. That's really it. That's really it. I don't hold any prejudices or nothing like that against anybody. I just know that it's easier to sell to what I'm familiar with than what I'm not familiar with. Right? That's pretty much it, right? So let's just do this, okay? We're gonna try to do this one more time. I talked about the job stuff, And I talked about how basically you need to at least save 5 to 10K. Once you get here, you need to immediately start investing in a business. Once you get there, you get from around 10K or from here to 10K a month to around 100K a month. Okay. Anywhere in the middle between here and here, you're going to live a good life, right? It's going to be very simple. Not really too hectic, very organized. This is where you start to do $1 million a year, start doing 100,000 a month. And it's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. But like, you're going to have to like, it's not really that hard technically. And then we got the 5 million, which is where I'm going. And then from here, it's around 10 million plus. Right. And then we have like 100 millions. Okay. And this is where you're going to see like business owners are going to be like around here, small business owners. And then you're going to have like basically influencers and other stuff like in this area. Right. And then you have your government people, and your government's influencing people over here. We have special interest groups, right? Nonprofits and stuff like that, influencing people over here. So what I've been learning really is that basically the spiritual stuff, which is like an ascension over here, right? Because when you learn the real spiritual nature of things, you realize all this stuff is fake. It's not real. None of this stuff matters. All that matters is that, you do your best while you're here, and then that's it, right? You be a good person. You try to eat right. You just live a good, healthy life for yourself. You take care of your body. You stay away from all the nonsense out there in the world. And it gets kind of hard to do that when you have so many people trying to influence you to do negative behavior. Okay. And it's just very important to know that, right? I think I actually probably released a video. If you guys say you want to see it, then I'll release it. But the point is that I had to get grounded in spirituality and what's happening there because of all this Epstein stuff that was going on, all of the magic, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, like what am I really looking at here? Why am I looking at it? And at this point, I know what's going on. And I think that a lot of this content is created for people who are lost and don't think having a business is an option, right? So what do I mean by that? Not spirituality itself, but the nature of a spiritual person is the person who doesn't agree with what's happening, right, in the world. So they don't like being a slave, having a job and then never having enough to retire. They know the government's lying to them, that stuff like that, right? It's like this weird mix of that, and then also at the same time not wanting to start a business, right? So they don't want to start a business, they don't want to build a following, they don't want to help people. So what do? They just go all the way to God, which is nothing wrong with that either, or what they think is God, and then they have this thing where since life doesn't really matter, let me not really try to do the best I can here to help others, right? Which is the answer in business, right? Like there's nothing wrong with making money because money is just really a unit of exchange for some service. If you're telling people, hey, here's like this information that I've gathered, and here is like the black sun, and here's the regular sun, and here's the moon, and the moon is like on this trajectory, and space is fake, and I did all this research, and if you'd like to see it, it's like $10 or $100, or I sell these for $200 at a pop, but then it also comes with consultation in case you need questions. That's worth it, right? I mean, if you do enough of those, okay, let's just say we did 200 sales, okay? 200 sales times 200, $40,000, okay? I've talked about this already. It only takes 20K to get everything you actually need to furnish your place. If you have an apartment or house, it takes around like 20K or so. And that's pretty much it, right? After this, you buy your phone, you buy you can buy a modular house. There's all kinds of stuff you can do, right? But the main point is that it's around 20K to get on your feet. After this, everything is basically going up. So any more that you do more than this 20K, then you're done. You actually don't really need any more money. Okay. It's like a one-time event in your life. If you can make 20K one time, or at least save 20K one time, that's probably everything you'll actually need in life, which is like kind of weird, right? It's kind of strange. So this the whole time you're stressed and you realize you don't have money and all this other stuff. And if you have 20K and you go buy, let's just knock it out one more time. Okay. You go buy a car. Okay. You go buy a car for like 7K to 10K. Okay. You go buy. I threw my phone away. Hold on. Okay. And then this stuff matters. Okay. I'm going to show you why in a sec. Okay. All right. Bills. All right. Took me a while to like come up with these strategies because it's like, okay, what's the most practical strategies where it makes sense, and then how do you want to live the life you want to live without going crazy and being abusive to others and all this other stuff, right? Now I said a phone for $1,000, but you could just really get it. Like I'm starting to use my flip phone now because I'm don't really want to use my smartphone because it's too exhausting to like. Before I would like, let me just say this before I really go into this. Before I was like checking for apps and figuring out what's happening right now, and TikTok was fun. That was fun before because I was learning about something and narcissism and abuse and getting other people's stories and getting data. Then it was also like the spiritual stuff. Then it was also like, so I was still in a learning phase. I'm not really in a learning phase about life anymore. I kind of like know what to expect to a degree. Okay. So it's like TikTok is not really interesting anymore. They're talking about people don't have money and this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay, these people just they don't know. They don't know what to do. And they're talking about their economy, and that matters in terms of just listening to what people are talking about. But it doesn't really matter to me now because I already know, and so I don't really need a phone. But if you need a smartphone, you can get one for like $1,000 or less. Pretty sure it's like $500, honestly, right? You can get one for $500 and it does everything that the other phones do. So you don't really actually need a super nice phone. Okay. And then what else here? Furnishings. Okay. This means a couch and a chair and all the other stuff. That's around like 5K. If you import it from China, probably a little bit cheaper. Um, Clothes. Okay. And clothes is around 3 to 5K. I would say, let's just spend 4K. Let's just spend 4K, right? So we got 7K on a car. We have $500 on a phone. We have around 4K on furnishings for an apartment or a house. You don't really need to spend that much money on a couch and all this other stuff, depending on what you're trying to achieve. And what else is there? That's it. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's everything. If I'm missing something, you can just tell me. But like, for it's actually around this number, right? So with 4K, that gives you like 30 shirts, 30 pants, 10 dress shirts, 10 dress pants. So that's way more than enough if you shop correctly. Now, that's everything you'll actually need in your entire life. Believe it or not. Okay. Now I know that sounds weird, but what else do you actually need? And I'm just saying this. You need a way to transport it to work and back. You need a way to, you want to come back to an okay looking house. You want to have okay looking clothes. It doesn't got to be the best clothes. You just have an outfits that you wear for an occasion. So there you go, 10K, right around 10K in order to get back fully on your feet. Now, if you want to spend another thousand on clothes, that'll put you around like 12,000 or whatever. But what my original idea was that I was like, okay, well, if you wanted, basically you could buy a modular house for like 6K. And then you could buy a land for like 10K, right? So we're a little bit over. But depending on how much you can buy land for in a modular house, you don't really, you can kind of just go with 10K, okay? All right. So 20K is like the number, okay? That's like a good number, right? So what else do you probably need after that? Nothing. But people don't know that, right? So because people don't know, they're going to end up wasting their time. So any money you spend after this is just whatever, okay? Now, if you lose your place and you lose your job or something, and now you don't have a way to pay these bills, then you could lose those things, but everything else is just maintenance after that because it's a one-time purchase. Buying a car is a one-time thing. It's not really something you do all the time. People have the idea that you're supposed to be upgrading all the time and then organizing all the time. But if you're trying to actually just win at life and just trying to have a good life as a man, it's not something you do. Okay, you just want to go out there, you want to start your business after this. If you're being a man, if you want to be a girl, then go out there, go upgrade everything, look nice, look fancy, treat yourself as much as possible, go on vacations and stuff. But if you just want to be a man and you want to get through life, this is what it is, right? It's around 10K. You have a car now, congratulations. You go buy a used car, you go buy your clothes, you furnish your place. Like, let's say you move to another city. You move to another city, and you're like, okay, let me go buy my shit, right? You go buy your stuff, 10K. Boom, just like that. Even if you have to work DoorDash or Uber or whatever, I don't recommend that. But even if you have to, this is a way you could get on your feet, right? So now, boom, just like that, you saved around 5K. You great. Time to continue to work a little bit more so you get the other stuff you need. Just like that, you're good, right? You have your car, you have your okay phone, and now it's time for you to continue to buy some clothes. And it's not like you have to buy all this stuff at one time, too. Right? You don't have to buy the couch and the clothes and all the other stuff at one time. You can just spend $1,000 on clothes, and then the next time you get $1,000, maybe in the next quarter or something, then you can spend $1,000, right? So you can spend the $4,000. Like, okay, I got $1,000 this month extra to spend, $1,000 this much extra to spend, and have $1,000 this much extra to spend. So after that, then there's really nothing else to actually buy. Okay, everything else is just maintenance. After that, it's like living expenses. It's like rent or insurance or gas or whatever it is. So if you're using your money right, you don't really need to do these things. You get it? So there's no point in buying a house right away, which is like the thing people are trying to do. They're trying to buy a house, or they feel bad about not having money to spend to go do things that they want to do, or buy new clothes or whatever it is, which is, in my opinion, that's a part of living, but that's not really like, it's not really like the point of doing it, right? Now, after that, you just want to start your business. Not really that hard, right? The rest of it is just paying for relationships. Now that we went over that, um, you could basically just get by doing this after you have a job, and you have a job making at least like 5K a month or something, which you should definitely try to get to this. I mean, that's like an okay number. 4K is like a number, not a better number, but it's a number where it's achievable and it's not that hard to do. And you can still do this or this with if you're in a relationship with somebody. Okay, that's why you want to get with somebody who doesn't have children and all this extra stuff. If they do have kids and they get a tax return and they somehow get $10,000, you know what to do. Hey, look, we're going to go get a car, we're going to get the phone, we're going to get the stuff. That's it. So it's like a lot of this stuff has to do with people basically being crazy, and they don't really understand what to do with their money. They don't know what's going on. Like, imagine having a baby mom or something, and they have like 3 kids or something, and they don't have a car, and they're living off of food stamps, and they're doing all this stuff. But all you need is 10K to actually get on your feet to get the stuff you need to get back and forth to work. Once you have this, then you're pretty much okay. Because why? If you say that two people, you guys both take home $2,000 a month. You're taking home 4,000, and you minus your bills, right? Maybe the rent is 1,500. And then you have your, which I have here, your food, which is $300 if you do it right for 2 people, as long as you're cooking. But if you're buying takeout and you want to eat takeout, then you're already like poisoning yourself anyway. But you got your phone bill, which is $30, insurance $85, internet $50 if you need that, and then gas. I mean, I don't really go anywhere, so that doesn't, whatever gas that they pay may not count for me. But let's just say it's $300 for gas for them, another 85 for 2 people, and then maybe 250 or $200 for electricity. So you have around close to like $1,000 left over per month. Okay, now if you just time this by 12 and you're partnering with somebody, this means you got 12,000 left over. Now, if you didn't buy all the stuff you needed, then you're going to have it over the course of the year. All you got to do is not go on a vacation that year. Pretty okay. All you got to do is not go on a vacation. Maybe instead of the 12,000, you just take 2,000 out, and that is 160. Maybe go stay at one night at a hotel per weekend or something. You try to like figure it out, but the main point is to get your stuff. Once you get your stuff, then you're done, right? Then you can kind of go around and spend the money. But do you really want to spend this $12,000 on that? The best thing to do is to use this on trying to grow a business. Okay. Why? You get the education, you start trying to grow your business, right? This is an investment in yourself. You go try to start your business, and then just like that, you're on your feet. Now, This is where you start to make around 10 to around 20K a month. After this, you kind of don't really need any more money, but then you don't really understand the spiritual aspect of what's happening because because you're going to lose it, right? Because if you don't keep investing in yourself, you're going to then lose this money, right? It's because you're not going to understand the spiritual warfare that's happening, the people here, the narcissism, all the other stuff, right? You're not going to really understand what's going on. It's not going to really make sense. So you have to kind of prepare for this. And I'm just finishing this part now, where the spirituality part, where I'm like, okay, I have more time now. I still have like some more tabs that I'm going through here. um I'm still like just listening to what people are saying because I'm still catching up over time, but I don't have to like watch these to know what to do now. I don't have to worry about some kind of demon or something or whatever these people are worshiping. I don't have to worry about that in order to get done what I'm doing, right? Of course I could just make the money, sure, but I needed to know, like, okay, what's really going on here. And what it is just people that are highly insecure. They are Satanists and they're evil. There's some people that are just evil. There all kinds of stuff, right? And you have to kind of be aware of this stuff in order for you to continuously be successful, right? So like it won't really would matter if I'm starting to make 5 to 10 million a year because I know what I'm doing with the money. If I'm just getting the money and I'm gonna sit in the middle of Florida or sit on an island or sit in one of my villas or something, right? If I'm gonna sit there, I need to know that, okay, what's going on? Am I inhaling poison? You know what I'm saying? Because there's nanoparticles. There's like, but they say that by the time you're 50, you have like a spoonful of plastic in your head, a spoonful, right, or something like that. So it's like, how do I get that out, right? How do I eat right? How do I do this? How do I do that? So you go through the spiritual journey to realize that all the foods are kind of poisonous because they're putting poison in the food to control the population. They're making you slow and stupid and a bunch of other just random stuff. So that's what I kind of showed off a little bit yesterday. Okay, this is Masterpiece, and this gets out heavy metals. This gets out forever chemicals, as well as like a bunch of other stuff. And it's only like $58 right now. Okay, so that's something I recommend. Let me know before you get it so I can give you a referral code. Um, I have this for to basically restore my ADHD non-planning skills, right? So this helps me get focused. I have caffeine. I also have this Genesis Revival. It has like more herbs and turmeric, shallot, and a bunch of other herbs. I have this here to scrape out the bovid X teen, right? And this is supposed to give you supposed to scrape your blood vessels so that way there's no self-assembling nanoparticles. So and I've been taking that for like, I don't know, a couple of months now. So I feel like it's working. My blood pressure's going down. I'm getting healthier. I'm losing weight. But not only that too, like it's just good for the blood. It's good for the blood anyway, right? Then I got this a little testosterone boost. We got ashwagandha, turkey ali, black maca, Irish sea moss, right? And also have this mushrooms. This is what I used to take before. Like I got a bunch of stuff here. Right? I got a whole pharmacy here. Obviously, we got our haritaki at night to come up with new ideas and strategies from God, of course, because I still work through the Lord. I know people do whatever they're doing. I'm working through God. At least I try. I'm trying my best to. Okay, because I'm trying to figure out what's right to do versus just making money, because the money doesn't really mean anything. If I told you that it only takes $10,000 to really get on your feet, you have to start questioning why you want more. Why do you want more? Why do you want more than 30 shirts? As a guy, I'm LC make content for men. Why do you want more than 30 shirts? Why do you want more than 30 pants? Why do you want more than 4 pairs of shoes and sneakers? Okay, wanting any more than that is kind of gay, in my opinion. But you can do whatever you want. It's your life, right? But like, it's kind of gay. Okay, it's gay to have different outfits. It's very feminine, and I'm saying that not in a negative way. It's a, why are you trying to impress women? Your job is just to take care of yourself. Women are just impressed by that. Women are just impressed by men that can take care of themselves, right? There's guys out here who can't even wash their behinds, which is insane to think, but that's a real thing. Okay. Like I said, you want to get this. This gets out any axines or ovids. Okay. That got that out. So basically, you take it for 90 days, and supposedly it reduces plastics, um, it reduces metals, it reduces all this other stuff. within 90 days, 41%. Okay, so if you do it for 180 days, we're looking at it probably around 80 something percent, right? So then you keep going, which I recommend probably doing it for a year. And all this stuff is like natural too, so it's just like no harmful stuff to your organs or nothing like that. It shouldn't be. Some people say that you should watch out, but you're talking about medicine most of the time. We're talking. This is just herbs. Okay, we're talking about herbs here. Okay, so it's natural. This has like this thing called zeolite in it. All zeolite is not the same. The way they did this one, basically, they did the zeolite in nanoparticles. So when you're taking it, it's attaching nanally, right? So that way it can basically get all the stuff out of your brain and shit like that too, because it's not really made to process, right? So this your body can't process volcanic ash. It's not a nutrient. So what it's going to do is it's going to attach to as much as possible and float around in your body as if it's water, and then it's going to get all the stuff and then get it out and you shit it out. You get it? Like that's what happens, right? I also have this. This is like one of my favorites. It's my favorites right here. Okay, Qualivine. I pay normally like $133 for this per month. I know like some people like you got to do this shit until you get out the game. All right. Okay. I got all the ingredients here. This is normally like a one shot for me. I buy one of these and then for like 2 or 3 months, I'm good. Okay. It's worth it. People do, oh, well, it's like $60 every 2 weeks. Like if you're not really playing the game, then, this not for you. This not for you. You need to be doing something else. Okay. Because if you're playing the money game, you're kind of losing. You need to be playing the God's game, God's design, all the stuff I talk about, alignment, and all the other stuff. Spend your $10,000, get all the stuff you need. Then it's time for God's design at that point. Okay, you do whatever the mission is God gave you here, and you do that with a business. You don't be a fruit cup and try to stay at your job. It's gay, okay? For like as it is. There's nothing wrong with just working, okay? But it's like you don't just stay there. You do what God called you to do. That's it, right? And that's pretty much it. It's not like it's like that hard to figure out, but it's all the shit that they put in the water and the sink water, which I have like filtered water for that. I have a bunch of bottled waters. So what I'll do is I'll buy a juice. While I buy juice, I'll be sipping on the juice. It's not really the fucking best juice, honestly. It's better if I just eat a fruit, but I just brought a bunch of juices over time. You buy a bunch of juices over time, that's like a whole bottle right there. So you don't need to be buying glass bottles and stuff like that. You just buy a juice. Just buy a juice from the store that's glass, right? Mix it up with water, whatever, just until you got enough. By the time you drink 30 of these, then you're pretty much done. You know? So I'm saying this because all this was not what I expected it to be. I did not expect, like, even this whole doctor, who thing that was on trial. That faggot basically had been lying to the public and stuff like that, right? So everybody just got this, what now? It's like this dude is still alive. Like, what the fuck? That goes to show you that they let this dude walk. They're letting this dude walk, man. I'm like, oh wow, okay, this is what we do. We know this government does not believe in the Lord. You do not believe in God. So I'm out. I'm out of this game. Whatever this was and participating, nah. I'm not participating in this bullshit. That motherfucker needs to die. Right? Like until heads start rolling, I'm really not interested in participating in whatever is going on here. Okay. Anyways, let's see here. What was I gonna say next? This supposedly gets out worms out of your body. This too, which I already like knew this stuff right when I was younger, but I didn't have a way to like confirm it. Okay, now I have confirmation. I mean, there's AI too, which obviously is like bullshit sometimes, but it's still okay to understand what's going on. We have activated charcoal. Okay, this is what they give you at the hospital, in case you overdose on something, and then you're basically if your body processes it, you're probably gonna die. So they'll give you activated charcoal. It'll basically go into your stomach and bind up whatever's there, and you'll basically poop it out, and it'll probably give you liquids and stuff like this in your body. Okay, and you have to remember what the doctors is for. It's for keeping you alive for emergencies. And anyway, it's not really just for going for checkups. You have a flu, just go talk to somebody else, right? Okay, so since this spiritual information is done, there's really nothing left for me to kind of like focus on in this manner. Yeah, there's always more metaphysical studies I can do, and there's other stuff I can do, but I'm not really that person. You know what I'm saying here? I'm not really the spiritual study person. I'm more the action oriented, let me do this person. And because of that, I need to start hiring these guys in order to be like, okay, tell me what I need to have. Because remember, they're experts in their own right. They're going on their own journey. And it's my job as the money person and the controller and all this other stuff, the architect, in order to have the money to give them to give me the data. So that way then I can do whatever I need to do with it. Okay. That's just a part of the journey. Now it doesn't matter if I'm making 100 or 200 or $500,000 a month if you are in a bad toxic environment and you're inhaling toxic air and your water has a bunch of fluoride in it and a bunch of other just random stuff. It doesn't really, like I said, it don't matter. Okay, doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter if I showed this yesterday. Doesn't matter if you try to get a remote you try to get a remote what is it? You try to get a remote location in a house and then these motherfuckers start showing up. Okay, obviously this was like a planned event, and I have no idea what Mr. Yang is going to talk about it. But you know what I'm saying? Like this is the kind of stuff you need to be thinking about, right? Because it's not just okay. I have $20,000 a month. I can go have sex and fuck girls and stuff. Sure, but is that really what you want? Do you really want to be congested in like Miami with all these other people who are doing toxic habits? They're doing drugs. They're doing all this stuff. And it's like, is that really what you want to be around? Does that really make sense? Right? Does that make sense? Does it make sense according to your design? Well, you know, the women's here, I can get on the boat and I'm living my life. I'm just having a drink. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful with what you've been gifted with, right? I've had, like I said, I've had a lot many times and I've lost it because I didn't appreciate it and I wasn't ready for it. So God will take that stuff away from you. You have to like know these things, right? You have to know this stuff. God won't even give it to you until you learn. Sometimes he'll give it to you like, okay, here's a taste. Okay, you're done. Right? You have to do what's right for your design. If you're not doing what's right for your design, then it's over. You're just going to live a very hard life, right? But as long as you can understand that it only takes 10,000 bucks, they really be like, okay, great. Like you can really do it with 5,000. You don't have to buy a car for 7,000. That's just a number I gave out, you know. But that's like it's like a number that makes sense, right? So if you're planning on moving for a job and you're like, okay, well, we'll give you, you know, we're like, hey, look, in order for me to move, I'm going to need a bonus or something just to get me on my feet. Like, what's that? I'm gonna need 15,000. Why? Because you're going to move and this, that, and the other, but you need something to start to move. I'm going to move over there and do all the stuff. And, you know, as long as you cover this and give me a bonus, then we're great. Just like that, you could be making the same amount or less. But the point is that you got all your stuff now. All your stuff is paid for. You got this paid for. You got that paid for. Boom, boom, boom. What's left? Nothing. Nothing but to start your business. Right? And there's nothing wrong with just working at a job. But the point is to do what God called you to do, whatever that is. You know? But all this to say that basically, now that I'm done the spiritual thing, it's time now for to clean up. Now I have to clean up again. I have to clean up all this mess I've made over the years. I got the room is like a little dirty right now. The mom's cleaning up the place, so all that's left is me cleaning up my stuff. I haven't checked emails for like 4 months. You know, I got 4 months of emails just sitting around, so I got to like go through that again. I talked about how originally when I got to know my real estate partner, basically he was showing me how to like go through my email like fast and what's junk mail. That was a very big deal. He didn't understand what was going on, but it was just me in the process of cleaning up all the mistakes I've made up until that point, right? So every time I make this big jump, I have to go clean up the mistakes, organize this, do. You have to be creating these things and creating new baselines for yourself. Making, like I said, making the money for me is pretty simple. I can make 150,000 a month or 300,000 a month. I know I complain on here a lot and talk about life and stuff, but it's like I have more issues with the life stuff than the money stuff. The money stuff is not really a problem. The money is not a problem, and if you have the money, people act like, that the emotional stuff shouldn't be a problem. The emotional stuff is absolutely the problem. That is the real stuff. Everything else is fake. God is real. You need to be attending to that as much as you can, not like in a weird way. You don't got to believe that you're a sinner and all this other stuff. Like, you're just a human and you don't really know what the fuck is going on. You're trying to figure out what's happening. You're trying to do your best. And it's other people's interest to make sure that you do not figure that out. That's how you know there's evil. You know what I'm saying here? That's how you know. Like, you have to like know these things. You have to know that there's people deliberately trying to corrupt you and make you desensitized and, you know, make you brainwashed and make you evil and trying to take over your mind. And like, you have to know these things. If you're not aware, then it's, I don't know, it's actually pretty stressful to know these things, because now I got like, okay, that's why I don't really watch stuff anymore. I'm like, I can't be playing with this. I'm just gonna run my business, right? But even then, I still have to be aware in case they create something new, right? Okay, the government's made some kind of new super poison that can fuck with you. Okay, great. Like, how do I avoid it? Well, you gotta go to Doctor, who, right? Like, now I'm just gonna move away. I'm moving to Canada or something, or somewhere else that is not poisoned. You don't want to go to the store and know that you're eating a poison fucking apple every fucking day. Every day I'm eating poison. Like, yeah, because apparently if you're in a different country for longer than like 3 to 4 weeks, your body will then adjust to actually having natural food. And then when you come back to the United States, your body has to then get adjusted to eating the poison food again. It's just what it is, man. Like, you got to know this shit, right? You have to know that there's deep spiritual warfare happening. Deep spiritual warfare. And it's not just like people want to just ignore it, this shit. And it's like, how else can somebody condition you to make you think that you needed more than $10,000 to get all your shit put together, and just like that, you're fine? $10,000, that's all it took. If I knew this as a child, I would not have been wasting my time. I told my daughter, okay, look, don't worry, I'm gonna show you what to do, but you're gonna do it on your own. I'm gonna show you exactly what to do, and I'm gonna have my own stuff. I'll probably pass to her. I say, don't worry, I'm gonna show you, sweetheart. Anybody I work with, I show them what to do. It's not like I'm just like sending you off with, doing whatever, but I show you what to do. Don't worry, I got you. That's what I said. I got you. I'm gonna hold you up while you're trying to swim. You know what I'm saying? Even though I can't swim, right? Right, but I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold you up. I'm gonna hold you up, right? Hold you up, and then don't worry. Come on. And then you're gonna get it. You can be like, okay, I think I got it. Good job, kid. Right now, the real test starts. Now you got to deal with all these challenges of dealing with the emotional stress that all these people are weirdos that are in charge. Right? These people, they're weirdos and they're devils. Right? And figuring out what real science is. That most of the stuff on TV is fake. Most of everybody's lying about everything. So it's like, you better get right with the Lord. It's like, okay, well then, which God are you believing in? Is that the right one? You gotta look at that, right? It's all the same. Anything. There's the Most High God. That's all the only thing that's real. Everything else is kind of fake. Um, so, like, for example, you need to know, like, when you're looking at a shill or you're looking at a government plant, which is like Neil deGrasse Tyson, they're paying him, and you need to know that he's getting government money in order to fund his fake ass research. Talking about how we can continue to land on the moon. We need to believe in the science. It's like, you fucking disgusting piece of shit. You believe in God, and that's it. God's real. Everything else is bullshit. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know. Okay, that solves pretty much everything, right? If God's real, devil's real. Okay, boom, right? Because now you know to look to. Now you know to look for evil sometimes, right? You can spot it. Okay, I got you, motherfucker. Right. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to everything that's been happening in my life so far, and I got it. I got this far somehow. I'm just looking forward to getting this new sales letter out today. I'll try to get a couple clients in the door, and I'm gonna try to make as much as I can, continue to provide value to the community, as well as make as much money as I can too, right? But without being greedy, okay? Because I'm not really a greedy person. I don't really care. I don't care. I only care about the relationships, really. But you have to get paid to show that people are serious. If they're not serious, then you really just can't talk to them, and it's not really worth it. And you know, I don't know. I've just changed a lot over the years, and I'm glad that I went through this journey and to figure out what's going on. And the rest of it is just me watching over time because I know what to do. Right? I got a protocol for these poisons that's happening and the glyphosate and all the other bullshit. I got something for my family, right? So I got that. I got this other binders to get rid of the metals and stuff like that. So over time, that will be cleaned out. Um, the cancer and stuff like that, like all the radio waves. I don't really have any radios in here except for the Wi-Fi. and the 5G network that comes through because of the phone, which I throw my phone over there. I don't really text because there's no point in texting me besides like people I talk to besides mentees. But most of the time I text from my computer. So I don't really need to text. And this is hardwired, right? I don't use wireless headphones because that basically they're giving you cancer in your brain. You don't know it, right? The whole game is to get you to have cancer so that way you can be like a forever customer. That's how they do business, man. That's how this government does business, and it's pathetic. But they do not believe in God. That's for sure. Okay, so that's it. That's it. That's my video, and let me see here. But that's it. It's time to play. It's just time to have as many relationships as possible, and try to build heaven on earth, because that's really all there is to do. There's really nothing else going on, right? I mean, you can try to trick people and shit. It's like it's really sick, right? And people try to do the thing where you try to they do the thing where they do the thing where they're like, what is it? You can have powers and shit. I'm like, here we go with this shit, right? Like, yeah, think about the powers God is going to give you, and what powers, man? What the fuck? I just want to just have a good life, man. What the fuck powers do you need? Well, you'll have like flame eyes, and you can fly. Where am I going to fly to? I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to just help people. That's it. If you have a business, you should just be wanting to help your people. That's it. Ain't shit else to do. What is else is I just gave you everything that you would do with 10,000 bucks. The rest of it is just what? Going on a vacation or things that cost under $500. Having sex under $500. Not saying that you would pay that much, but that's under $500. Going on a vacation, you can go on a little two little weekend vacation and go to the park or something like that, right? Go take you to the water park, I guess. That's what people do. They they go to playgrounds, they go to events. That's under $500. Renting a car is under $500, so you can rent your most favorite car for a day. That's under $500. Um, I say vacation, ride a boat. That's under 500. So most of the things you're going to do in your life are under $500. The only things that's actually going to cost money is buying a house, buying land, and then paying for education. That's it. Those are the only things that actually going to cost money. Everything else don't cost. You just have a regular job. As long as you got an extra $500, you're good. You go do one or two things a month. How much more do you need to do? Everything else is kind of free on the internet. Right? If you're learning, you can pretty much just kind of learn for free for a while until you just get ready to pay for the real information. Right? So you can keep yourself busy. You can watch a couple cartoons, some shows. That's free. A lot of stuff is free, man. It's not really that hard. This shit is not that hard, but it's just the way people are. I feel like I'm broke. I feel like I don't have money. I feel, and it's like it's not real though. It's not real. It's not real. You got everything you need. With extra $500, go buy the food. Go buy the rice machine. Go buy the, every month go buy something new. The rice and beans, the beans machine, the whatever it is. Go buy the machines. Right? You go buy the cooking machines. Great. Now what? Oh well, we have an extra $200 because I brought the machine, so I'm going to go buy 250, 350, or 350-pound bags of rice. That's like all the rice you'll probably need for the rest of the year. And you do it again, right? You have another $500 the next month, and you say, okay, I'm gonna buy all these beans. Then the rest of it, you go buy some meat. Then you're like kind of done after 2 months. Then you do it again, and after that, then you got all this extra money to then, I guess, buy ice cream and junk food. You know what I'm saying here? Like we're really living very comfortable lives, man. Like you really got to be like, people don't really understand. The issue I have is not really with that. The issue is I have is with the poisons. That's what I have an issue with. I have an issue with people deceiving me into trying to take poison and trying to trust them. That's the issue, right? Tell people they need to start a business. Tell them they need to not stay at their jobs forever because it doesn't make sense. You tell people that. Hey, this is the system that we have. You need to go out there. You need to be an entrepreneur. But that does, they want to make you in debt so much by the time you figure it out, then you're screwed. The boomers really milked this motherfucker dry, man. They really did, man. Like, how, I don't know how you could feel like you were doing well that long. That goes to show you how narcissistic people are. And then to be kicking your kids out too. So they can do what? Fuck. Like, what are you doing all day? You're not there for your fucking kids? Are you kidding? I don't know, man. Anyway, that's it. That's the new roadmap. Is the same roadmap. It's just I know what to take now. I'm like, okay, I got all these herbs here. Check. I know how I should be living now. Check. You know, if in case I do move out to the wherever, it doesn't really matter where I move. But because like I was thinking about Spain, but it's like okay, they're just gonna let people in like this. I don't really want to be around a government that's going to be doing this. I need a government with good controls, good border controls, good, um, people where people behave to a degree, so that way, even if I'm am going to pay my fair share in taxes or whatever, I want to know that they're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I want to be just taken advantage of the entire time, and they're like, "Oh, would you like to eat more poison today, sir?" It's like, dude, get out of my fucking face, man. You guys couldn't make this shit any better. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, and God hates them. God hates them. I'm pretty sure God hates them, but nobody ever told them, so they never got karma for it. You know, you need to tell people God hates you. You know what I'm saying? You need to be like, look, God, you know God hates you, right? Like we saying, God literally hates you, and you're going to hell. That's all you gotta say, and that's enough to trigger somebody's karma because they deserve it. You know, the amount of abuse, and I just really can't stand a bully, and I can't stand a fucking abuser. I just hate it. That's why I don't really talk down on women. I never did none of this stuff. I never do this stuff. I'll be annoyed. I'm like, okay, this is annoying, but I'm not really gonna be like, oh, you're a fucking bitch and this. That. I'll never be that way because it's just stupid. It's like so many people are so immature, but they don't know how immature they are. They're so immature, but they have no idea what level of immaturity they are. I can't wait to go get some new clothes. Like, okay, cool. Right. And you don't want to really be hating on people either. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not hating or nothing like that. It's just like, okay, clothes. What the fuck? I mean, where are you going? I'm just gonna buy them. You know, one of them. I'm buying Louis Vuitton, and I mean, it's a fucking bag made at 50 cents that has a label on it, bro. But yeah, but think about like the status I'll get when people respect me. You're not in alignment, man. I don't know, man. Like, and it's the whole thing is that you have to make these bullshit products too because this is the only thing they're gonna make. Like, eventually they'll keep buying until they feel empty inside. They'll be like, okay, something's not right. I have all this stuff and it doesn't mean anything. Great, now you're ready to go on the right path. Congratulations, you graduated because it's just a fucking bag. It's just a restaurant. Having the money is cool, but it's really not going to do anything. Like even so, basically, like I had to like figure out, say, okay, what am I going to do with the money? Um, because basically, most of the time, what I did was I always like invested it back into real estate or whatever. I think I want to do other things now with that money. You know what I'm saying? So I want because I like for example, I've always paid like 30,000 a year for education and stuff. This is like one of the first years I've not done that. I've not paid that much. I probably only paid like maybe 6,000 or 7,000 or something like that. So going forward, because I'm not really researching the way I used to, I mean, I still will probably build relationships with the money. So I'll probably still be networking and stuff, but it's more like setting up events for people to connect, um, helping the community, giving people food to eat, just shit like that, whatever, right? Like I'll probably raise my own little fundraiser and be like, okay, I'm going to raise money to feed some of the homeless people, give them like a little bit of ease, but then make them work for it, obviously, too. So they have to learn, right? And that's the point of building people. You know what I'm saying? That's very important to build people, man. You know, before you get this food, put your hand on this Bible. You believe in God? No, well, you better, because God put me here today. That's why I care. I don't care because it's me. I care because it's God. That's it. God made me care about you. Because if it's up to me, I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm keeping real, man. It's not if it's up to me, I don't give a shit. I really never really gave a shit because I'm very indifferent. If it's up to me, I'd be just smashing the hose all day. Pop, pop, pop. I'd do it raw if I could, but I'm not because I'm not stupid. But I would. But I'm like, okay, this is according to God's design. No, well then I better stop because it ain't right. Because they gonna get me right. They gonna get AIDS or some shit now. Like, dang, you know. Like, but you better believe, man. You stay on the right narrow. Here's your food, and go over there, go clean up or some shit. Go mop. I don't want to hear shit. Oh yes, sir. Okay, yeah, get the fuck out of here. I love you too. Get out of here. Right. I'm more like that. That's how I am with regular people. I'm not like that with people. I genuinely like care about more goofy. But for the people who need instruction, you got to be a little tough to them. Like, okay, all right, yeah, all right, yeah, go. Trying to be your friend. Oh, trying to use the tricks on you. Oh, well, do you like me? And man, if you don't get over there and fucking mop that shit up, God loves you. How about that? You don't need my love. What the fuck? You don't need me. You need God's love, fool. Okay, all right. Okay, that's really all you gotta do, man. It's like, okay, give people jobs. Yeah, it's y'all job. Look, here's the deal. Okay, y'all gonna get fed. You're gonna give you a place to sleep, but y'all gonna go clean up this playground today. All right. If I catch y'all doing any bullshit, that's it. Okay. Remember, we're doing this for the good of everybody. Teach you how to be a good person. It's to keep you out of trouble too. You know, keep you out of trouble too, man. But you gotta believe in God, man. You gotta be a good person, man. So try to get right while you can, because once you go too far, then it's over. You know, you get the money, you think the money matters and shit. It's like you have to literally tell people, hey, this shit don't matter. You know that, right? The only reason I got all this money is to do this nice shit for you. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. That doesn't exist. Yeah, because you're a freak. That's why you're a weirdo. You're crazy. You think that this money exists. It's about you, bro. That's it. It's about you. That's what I promised to God. I said, if I ever get out of my situation, I'll help other people. Because I don't care. I don't care about what are you gonna do with the money. It could be having sex every day. Oh wow. What the fuck? That shows you how attached people are to this bullshit, man. They're so attached to this bullshit, man. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Anyway, that's it. That's the video. Basically, I'm building a new roadmap for myself, and because like it doesn't really matter if I moved out or moved to another country or whatever. If I got to deal with like immigrants or whatever, and they're just fucking raiding the area, or I deal with people that's going to come in my little area, right? So if I got a little territory, then I got to worry about these people influencing my people, like because I'm not going to just have just some businesses that I'm partnering with. I'm planning on like building communities and building people. Like, get up, come on now, come on. Like, y'all young people go to these jobs, and if you don't have a place to stay, I'll give you a place to stay. That's it. Like, look, I'm raising money to get these people a place to stay. The fuck am I doing with the money, man? What are you really gonna do with the money? That's how you know people are not right. Give me 1 second here, and then I'll finish up. Okay. Doody dum 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 dum. Oh God. So far away. I'll just get me a regular alarm clock now. Can you get the car out of the bag? Man, these girls be so fine and just fucked up, man. These girls be so fine and fucked up at the same time. Anyway, that's it. Basically, we're just gonna be building people, uh, building the kingdom, building the church, right? As much as I can. I really do care about helping people, and not in not the way I used to. I think that I went through all of this just for me to care about people a healthy way and not a unhealthy way, if that makes sense. I think that's what this all was about. Me understanding that it's not good to love people that are abusive. Like, you love them by punching them in the face. You care about people by putting them on the right path, telling them what not to do, what to do. Um, calling people out, calling them scumbags sometimes. Like, yeah, you're a fucking scumbag. You know that piece of shit. Calling people, saying it what it is, man. Telling them you hope they go to hell and they hope they burn in hell forever. Stuff like that, right? I hope that their soul's lost and never to come back to this planet or plane. Stuff like that. Sometimes you need to say it because they don't really understand, and they need to be a little afraid because they're already too far gone sometimes. Sometimes you just got to punch somebody in the head sometimes, or worse. Sometimes you have to end them. That's a part of love, and they can't love themselves, so you got to do it for them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep hurting others. It's like, come on, man, you got to stop. You try to rehabilitate people, and they're just monsters sometimes, man. I get there's a lot of bullshit out there in the world keeping us busy. Maybe we like laughing at people sometimes, and we like whatever, but it's not. Come on, sometimes the shit just not right. Anyways, that's it. I'll probably make another video later, but the making the money part is real simple. It's just all the other stuff that you attach to it that makes it hard. It's all the other belief systems. It's all the other belief systems. It's all the insecurities that you have. It's all the things that you think the money, like imagine some of these kids out here they're getting 20, 40, 50,000 a month. And they're like, still like, yeah, I'm just living the life right now. And it's like, what life are you living exactly? What life are you living? Like, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. But most of the stuff I do is going towards like a real research. It's going toward real, like, well, I'm just saving right now. You're saving. You're saving what? I have over $5 million in cash. Oh, why? Are you dumb? You're supposed to invest it. What are you doing? Well, if I invest it in Kalshi, I'll get more. It's like, wow, you're that stupid. You're that dumb. You have no idea that you're supposed to be just building relationships with people. And by doing that, you get profit. You give homeless people a place to work and shit, then guess what? They go out there and they work for you now. That's it. Put people to work. Give them jobs. Ain't shit else to do with the money. Okay, yeah, I got $1 million here. I got some properties. I got some shit. Yeah, okay. But at some point, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you really doing? Look at all the stuff I have. What are you like? Gay? It's gay. This shit is like beyond gay. It's beyond. If you're a guy too, well, think about the amount of status. I'm like high tier. Only people that don't have money think people with money are high tier. Because the shit is bullshit. What do you look at my shoes? My shoes are Louis Vuitton. My jacket is on Conbière or whatever. It's like, oh wow, you're that gay, huh? You're a fucking fag. You really think I fucking care to be impressed by you? Like, think about this shit. Like, you really think about it. All this shit is just to impress you. Look at my clothes. I'm better than you. So you're trying to impress me. You care about what I think about you that much. What the fuck? People care about what you think about them, man. And I don't really give a fuck about what people think about me. Either you're paying me or we're not working together. That's it. That's all I care about. You're doing something for me or you're not. Same thing with the people I'm going to be helping. Are we having a relationship here where I give you food and then you do the right thing or not? If you're not doing the right thing, I'm not giving you food. Fuck you. There's somebody else who will do the right thing. Who is going to be a better person? Who is going to, when you start making money, you start giving back to people. And it's not about doing it, giving back in the fruit cup way. We're talking about giving back in a real way that's going to have some lasting change in people's lives. That's why I charge the way I charge for the mentees. It's giving back, but it's like you're going to need some money. If you don't have the money, then I'm not talking to you. You're going to fail because you don't understand the point. You're missing the whole point of the development process. The discipline, the doing the right thing. Now that you have it, okay, I got it. Now what? Nothing. It's over. Congratulations. Now you can have sex with Lori Harvey. Oh wow, look at Tyler. She's 24. She's so hot. She's so hot. What the fuck is going on with these people, man? It's not till you get older you realize, damn, all this shit was like bullshit. It's all basically just made for you to care about people. And it's like, just don't care about God and care about doing the right thing. That's it. You'll be rich in no time. Unless if you believe in real God, yeah. If you believe in real God, you'll be rich. You'll have more than 50,000 a month if you want it. If you believe in real God. And if you believe in fake God, you'll be very poor your entire life. Okay? All right. If you believe in fake God, you'll be poor the majority of your life. And people will be trying to convince you money doesn't matter. Does it? It doesn't. No, it's bad. It's evil. Yes, I'm pretty sure your God or whatever Jesus you believe in. Yeah, yeah, that one. That one, that's the broke one. Yeah, I don't believe in that one. I believe in the one that's like take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of others. I believe in that one. In order to do that, you need money sometimes. Okay? I believe in real money making cool Jesus, okay? I believe in that. I don't believe in, oh, you have to give everything you have and be poor and walk in the desert with no flip-flops. That's the only way. You must give it all to me. Oh, I'm sure you think that's the right way. I know what kind of man I am. I know I'm gonna do the right thing with the money, which I do already. I give it to my family. I don't need it. I give away the stuff on the channel. I just talk about it for free. I know what I'm doing, but I'm not doing it. Oh, God said the eye of the needle is the heaven. This like you don't get that bullshit out of here. You don't think somebody's interpreting that shit wrong to keep you broke? Yeah, yeah. Take off all your stuff. Go drop it off in the corner. Yes, God said so. Go take all your stuff that you've worked for your entire life and all the things that you can have to make an impact on others' lives. Go put it away and give it all up. It doesn't matter. Why would you do that when you can just say, "Hey, how about I just sell it and get and try to share it with others?" Well, you can give it to me instead. God. Must pay your tithes, pay your taxes. Come on, man. I'm done ranting. I'm done. I've been on for an hour again. I shouldn't be doing this shit. That's it. Look, keep God in your heart. Whether you believe in Jesus or not, don't matter. We're all believing the same thing. But he's definitely probably the best role model out there on being upright and doing the right thing and giving the people that matter. You're supposed to follow the way in order by doing that. Everything else comes to you, the money and all the other stuff. So people that say like money matters, come on, it does matter, and it's not like it's about the money. It's the unit of measurement of your relationships. If you're helping other business owners make money and you're making 50 to 100,000 a month, that gives you now the ability to impact more people and not just do fruit cup donations to people where you have no control. You need to be donating to people, watching how your donations are growing. Okay, you've given it to this homeless shelter. Yeah, okay. Well, let me see it. Let me see what's going on. Well, sir, we don't have it. You disgusting piece of shit. I'm not giving you no more. Fuck you. Oh, that's not the Christian way. It is mine. That's my Christian way. Fuck you. Fuck you, you damn devil. You just took the money and used it. Help do what you said you're going to do. It's okay to pay yourself, but stop being a damn devil. These people they're devils, man. Make me fucking sick. Do the right thing. Don't gotta be perfect. Okay, we all make mistakes, but don't be a piece of shit. And that's what most of these people are. They're pieces of shit. And they're gonna burn in hell for it, and I hope they do. Okay. Anyway, that's it. We're gonna try to get back to more business videos. I know that some of this stuff is like a little too intense for people, but I've always been very spiritual. Some people you can't be spiritual, you gotta be mystical. It's like, look, man, I believe in God. That's it. Everything else I don't really care about. Okay. That's my design. I've been that way since I was a kid, and I'm still that way now. I care about what I care about, and I don't what I don't. I care about God. I care about doing the right thing. I care about knowing what the right thing is, and I care about sharing with good people and being in alignment with good people and being in alignment with myself and my family and making sure people get fed if they're hungry. But you do the right thing. Hey, you know why I'm doing this, right? Because I believe in the Most High. You know that, right? If you did too, you wouldn't be out there doing this nonsense. You know that, right? Because you wouldn't be attached to all this bullshit. The only reason people I get homeless and all this other shit is because they're attached to bullshit. Stop being attached to bullshit people, bullshit products, bullshit stuff. You go out there, you want to treat yourself, sure, but you have some discipline about it. You want to go make some more money, you have some discipline about it. You know, you don't want to be a fruit cup, man. Go through your whole life being a fruit cup and you wonder why everything, like, damn, I never achieved nothing. Being a fruit cup the whole time. You got to be serious, man. Okay? Believe in God, man. All right? See you.